Pleiadian Transmission. The Great Polarity Vortex has begun. A natural separation is occurring, beloved starseed of Gaia. A natural separation is occurring in the field, and many of you are already feeling it through changing relationships, shifting priorities, sudden distance, stronger boundaries, and the unmistakable sense that what once felt compatible no longer moves in the same direction. I am MAION, Pleiadian emissary of the High Council of the Seven Sisters, and I speak through the crystalline current of Alcyone to help you understand what the Pleiadian field means by the Great Polarity Vortex, superiority, or spiritual division, but to deeper honesty about resonance, responsibility, and the choices shaping your next path. By the end of this transmission, you'll understand exactly how to receive the Pleiadian light codes behind this polarity shift, how to recognize when a separation is healthy, and how to remain compassionate while allowing different paths to reveal themselves. But here's the first revelation. The split is not created because one side is pure and the other side is lost. It appears when repeated choices make two directions increasingly difficult to inhabit at the same time. You are remembering because it is time. The phrase polarity vortex may sound dramatic, but the deeper meaning is simple. When tension increases, unresolved differences become more visible. What could once remain hidden under routine begins to show itself. A relationship that looked stable reveals incompatible values. A group that seemed united reveals different motives. A person discovers that they no longer want the life they once worked to maintain. The vortex is not necessarily destruction. It is revelation under pressure. The Pleiadian field asks you not to romanticize division. Humanity has suffered enough from stories that turn difference into enemies. The natural separation we speak of here is not a command to classify people as high frequency or low frequency, awake or asleep, chosen or rejected. That language can become another form of ego. The deeper teaching is about alignment. Different choices create different consequences. Different priorities create different paths. Sometimes the distance that follows is not punishment. It is the natural result of direction. You may be experiencing this in relationships. Perhaps you care for someone, but no longer recognize the version of yourself that appears around them. Perhaps conversations stay on the surface while your inner life has become deeper. Perhaps the relationship requires you to hide what matters, perform ease, or ignore a pattern the body no longer accepts. The natural separation begins when the cost of pretending becomes greater than the fear of change. This does not mean every difference requires departure. Mature relationships can hold difference. People can disagree and still respect one another. They can grow at different speeds. They can use different language. They can have different spiritual beliefs. The issue is not sameness. The issue is whether the relationship still allows truth, dignity, repair, and mutual freedom. The Great Polarity Vortex reveals where differences become distortion. One person wants honesty, while another requires denial. One person wants repair, while another only wants silence. One person wants mutuality, while another wants access without responsibility. When these patterns become clear, the field may separate naturally, because the old arrangement no longer has enough consent to sustain itself. Some of you have been fighting this separation. You keep reopening conversations that already showed their limit. You keep trying to explain your values to someone who benefits from misunderstanding them. You keep returning to environments that make your body contract because the familiar still feels safer than the unknown. The Pleiadian field asks you to stop confusing persistence with alignment. Persistence is sacred when something is alive and needs care. Persistence becomes self-abandonment when only one person is keeping the structure standing. A bridge cannot remain balanced if one side keeps removing its foundation. The natural separation may be the body's final way of saying, I cannot keep carrying both sides. The polarity vortex also appears within the self. Part of you wants the new path. Another part wants the comfort of the old identity. Part of you wants truth. Another wants approval. Part of you wants freedom. Another wants the guarantee that no one will be disappointed. This internal split creates exhaustion. Before you judge the outer world for being divided, notice where your own energy is divided. The Pleiadian current asks you to gather yourself. What do you actually value now? What are you willing to protect? What are you no longer willing to pretend? Which life are your repeated choices building? These questions reduce inner fragmentation. A natural separation often becomes visible when people stop making the same sacrifices. Perhaps you used to sacrifice rest to keep up. Perhaps you sacrificed boundaries to preserve connection. Perhaps you sacrificed truth to avoid conflict. When you stop making the sacrifice, the structure changes. People who depended on the sacrifice may say that you changed. They are correct. The agreement changed because your participation changed. The Pleiadian High Council wants you to understand that polarization becomes dangerous when people lose the ability to see one another as human. Natural separation is not dehumanization. You can create distance without hatred. You can leave a group without attacking everyone inside it. You can change your mind without needing your former self to become an enemy. This is important because the old field often says, if I leave, I must prove they were wrong. If I change, I must condemn who I was. If I choose another path, everyone who stays must be less evolved. The Pleiadian path rejects this. Separation can be clean. A clean separation says, this no longer fits me. I respect that you may choose differently. I will protect my boundary. I do not need to destroy you in order to move. This frequency is one of the foundations of the new Earth. The Great Polarity Vortex may also affect your information environment. You may notice that some spaces become more extreme. Every issue is framed as total war. Every disagreement becomes proof of corruption. Every question becomes disloyalty. This is a sign to slow down. Polarized fields often reward certainty more than truth. They reward outrage more than reflection. They reward identity more than complexity. The Pleiadian field asks you to remain difficult, to recruit into psychological war. This does not mean becoming passive or refusing moral clarity. Some actions are harmful. Some systems need correction. Some boundaries must be defended. But moral clarity does not require losing the ability to think. The natural separation is also happening through attention. People are choosing what they will feed. Some feed fear all day. Some feed creation. Some feed constant reaction. Some feed study, skill, community, and care. Over time, these choices create different internal worlds. Attention is not neutral. What you repeatedly consume shapes the emotional climate of the mind. The Pleiadian field asks you to look at your own climate. What are you practicing through your attention? If you spend hours comparing, the body learns insufficiency. If you repeatedly create, practice, move, study, or connect, the body learns another rhythm. The polarity vortex is also the separation between repeated patterns. This is why the great split should not become a prophecy you watch. It should become a mirror. Which path are your habits making more likely? Which emotional atmosphere do you practice every day? What kind of person are your routines training you to become? The hidden danger is spiritual superiority. Some may say, I am on the higher timeline, and others are on the lower one. Be careful. This can become a new form of division. The Pleiadian field does not measure spiritual maturity by the words someone uses. It looks at fruit. Does the path create more honesty, more compassion, better boundaries, more responsibility, greater ability to repair, more capacity for uncertainty, more service? These are meaningful signs of integration. Someone may use no cosmic language at all and still embody deep coherence. Another may speak constantly of ascension while behaving manipulatively. The vocabulary is not the frequency. The behavior reveals the field. The natural separation can be painful because love does not disappear at the same moment compatibility changes. You may still care for someone who cannot walk the next part with you. You may miss them. You may grieve. You may remember good moments. None of this proves the separation is wrong. Grief and alignment can coexist. Love and distance can coexist. Compassion and consequence can coexist. The human heart is capable of holding complexity. The Pleiadian field asks you not to use spiritual language to avoid grief. Do not say, "We are simply on different timelines," while refusing to feel the sadness. Feel the sadness. Let the relationship matter. Let the ending be human. Spiritual meaning should deepen the heart, not numb it. The polarity vortex may also bring old people back temporarily. A message, a memory, a dream, a chance encounter. Do not assume every return means reunion. Sometimes contrast is needed so you can see how much your inner field has changed. Ask what happens in your body. Do you feel peace, compulsion, fear, familiar hunger? Do not decide from intensity alone. Let time reveal the pattern. A transformed connection will usually show evidence. Better communication, responsibility, respect for boundaries, consistency. A repeated old pattern will usually ask for the same sacrifice under new language. The Great Polarity Vortex is a test of discernment, not paranoia. You do not need to suspect everyone. You need to become more accurate about access. The natural separation may happen quietly. No dramatic confrontation. Fewer conversations. Different priorities. The energy simply stops moving in the same direction. Let quiet endings be quiet when possible. Not every ending needs a public ceremony. Some of you are used to chaos, so a peaceful separation feels incomplete. You want the final argument, the confession, the dramatic truth. But closure is not always given by another person. Sometimes closure is the moment you stop needing them to interpret the story correctly. The Pleiadian field asks you to return authorship to yourself. You know what the pattern cost. You know what your body experienced. You know what you learned. That can be enough to choose differently. The Great Polarity Vortex also appears collectively because human beings are under pressure from rapid information, uncertainty, and competing identities. Pressure amplifies what is unresolved. Fear can make groups more rigid. The Pleiadian message is not to predict catastrophe, but to practice regulation. A regulated nervous system can listen longer, think more clearly, distinguish disagreement from danger, choose better timing. This is why body care is part of collective healing. The hidden revelation before integration begins is this: the natural separation is not separating good souls from bad souls. It is separating patterns that can no longer coexist without constant self-betrayal. The choice is not about proving superiority. It is about becoming honest about what you are willing to live. Beloved, if this transmission is already touching the place in you that feels relationships, priorities, and paths naturally reorganizing, your star family has prepared a deeper path for this exact threshold. The Pleiadian bloodline method, Unlock Your 7 Inheritances, was created not as information to collect, but as a sacred map for healing, remembrance, and crystalline integration. While you strengthen discernment, reclaim your sovereign core, release old agreements, and learn how to remain compassionate through changing fields. It carries the love frequency of Alcyone and the wisdom of the 7 sisters for souls ready to move through separation without hatred, superiority, or self-abandonment. Available now for those who feel called to receive the next layer of their Pleiadian inheritance. Now begin with the first practice. Identify where you are pretending compatibility. Where do you constantly edit yourself? Where do you hide values? Where do you agree publicly and resent privately? Where does the body brace before every interaction? Right without judgment. The goal is not immediate separation. The goal is truth. Some situations can be repaired through communication. Others need boundaries. Others are complete. Clarity comes before action. Then ask whether the difference is about preference, value, or harm. Preferences can often coexist. Values may require negotiation. Harm requires protection. Not every disagreement belongs in the same category. This distinction prevents unnecessary polarization. A person liking different music is not the same as someone repeatedly violating a boundary. A different spiritual belief is not the same as manipulation. Precision protects both compassion and safety. The next movement is to notice your own role in the loop. Do you stay silent and then explode? Do you agree and later resent? Do you chase clarity from unavailable people? Do you use withdrawal instead of communication? The goal is not self-blame. It is agency. Agency asks, what part can I change? You cannot control another person's maturity. You can change your access, timing, speech, and participation. The Pleiadian field asks you to become less reactive to labels. People may call you selfish, distant, difficult, changed, or unspiritual. Evaluate the behavior, not only the label. Are you truly becoming cruel, or simply less available for an unhealthy pattern? Be honest. You may discover that some criticism is useful. Sovereignty means you can examine it without collapse. Ask whether there is a pattern in the feedback. Ask trusted people. Adjust when needed. A strong field can change its mind. The natural separation also asks you to stop monitoring the people you are leaving behind. Constant checking keeps the energetic loop active. You say you chose another path, but your attention remains tied to whether they regret, suffer, change, or notice. Call attention back. What are you building now? What needs your energy? The Pleiadian current asks you to create a positive direction. Separation without direction can become emptiness. If you leave noise, what will replace it? If you stop chasing, what will you build? If you leave a group, where will healthy connection come from? The new earth field requires more than departure. It requires construction. Choose one new practice that reflects the path you are choosing. A weekly gathering, a creative schedule, a study rhythm, exercise, a savings plan, a clearer morning. The new path needs form. The Great Polarity Vortex also asks for information discipline. Before sharing a claim that intensifies division, pause. Is it accurate? Is it current? What is the source? What happens if it is wrong? Discernment is part of spiritual responsibility. Polarized environments often spread information because it confirms identity. The Pleiadian field asks you to value truth more than emotional satisfaction. You may notice how hard this is when a story supports what you already believe. That is exactly when slowing down matters most. The Great Polarity Vortex may also reveal a conflict between belonging and authenticity. Human beings are social. Belonging matters. Do not shame yourself for wanting connection. But belonging that requires constant self-erasure becomes expensive. The goal is not independence from everyone. It is connected autonomy. You can belong and think, love and say no, receive support and remain sovereign. Practice revealing one more honest layer in safe relationships. Authenticity grows through experience. When the body learns that truth does not always destroy connection, the fear begins to soften. Choose safe people carefully. Not everyone deserves every layer of you. Vulnerability without discernment is exposure. The Pleiadian field asks you to stop making every ending proof that people are against you. Sometimes people simply have different capacities, priorities, timing, or values. Not every separation needs a villain. This belief can reduce unnecessary trauma. You can say, It ended because the structure no longer fit. That sentence may be more honest than creating a story of total betrayal. Of course, some endings do involve harm. Name harm accurately. Seek support. Protect yourself. The teaching is not to minimize. It is to avoid adding distortion. The great polarity vortex also appears in the relationship between reaction and creation. The old field keeps you reacting. The new field asks you to create. How much of your week is reaction? Emails, conflict, scrolling, correcting, defending. How much is creation? Writing, building, learning, healing, organizing, nurturing. The balance reveals your direction. Choose one block of time each week for creation before reaction. Protect it. Let your future receive your best attention. The great split may also reveal how much identity is built around opposition. Who would you be without the person, group, or problem you constantly fight? This question can feel uncomfortable. It returns attention to construction. If your identity is only anti-something, the thing you oppose still defines you. Build a positive center. What are you for? The Pleiadian field asks you to name 3 things you want to increase in the world and 1 action for each. More honesty. Tell one truth. More connection. Call someone. More care. Help in a concrete way. Small acts anchor values. The natural separation may be occurring because one part of humanity is becoming more aware of interdependence while another clings to control. But remember, these tendencies can exist inside the same person. Do not externalize all shadow. You may value freedom and still try to control loved ones. Value peace and still provoke online. Value truth and still avoid a difficult fact. Humility keeps the field clean. The great polarity vortex is therefore also an invitation to integration. Bring the split parts together. The one who wants change and the one who fears it. The one who wants love and the one who protects against it. The one who wants visibility and the one who hides. Listen to both. Then let the wiser center choose. You may find that one part needs reassurance, not control. The fearful part may need a plan. The overwhelmed part may need rest. The lonely part may need healthy connection. When needs are addressed consciously, old patterns lose power. The polarity vortex may create physical sensations of tension because internal conflict lives in the body. Use grounding. Feet on the floor. Slow exhale. Movement. Sleep. If symptoms are concerning, seek appropriate care. Spiritual interpretation should never replace practical health support. The Pleiadian field asks you to develop the ability to stay present with discomfort without immediately making a decision. This is a powerful capacity. A wave of fear is not always a no. A wave of excitement is not always a yes. Let the wave settle, then evaluate. This helps prevent reactive separation. The natural split should emerge from clarity, not adrenaline. The ultimate revelation is this: a natural separation is occurring wherever repeated choices are making old agreements impossible to maintain. The great polarity vortex is not a cosmic excuse for hatred.